Did you see that when DB came back and played for us, that they got mad that our fan base was booing her?
I don't believe in booing former players unless they left on like some fun type shit.
You are watching The Precise Moment. Sophie Cunningham disrupted a long-standing narrative in the WNBA. A casual podcast discussion about Dana Bonner's acrimonious exit has grown into something far greater. Traditional media gatekeepers are losing their heads. Here's something they'd rather you not notice. Sophie and other WNBA players, like as Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, have shown that they can manage their own storylines without relying on ESPN or other media outlets. She bypassed traditional channels and engaged with fans directly, surpassing even the most experienced sports reporters in a single year. For an industry that relies on intermediaries between athletes and the public, this is not only unpleasant, but also existential. Support Sophie by leaving a spicy comment. Let's go.
I like DB because like DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix, and then we gathered here into Indiana, and like it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway. And so we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like she's a Hall of Famer. She's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court.
For years, traditional sports media censored WNBA coverage, prioritizing certain players and stories over others. Sophie revealed that the walls are actually made of wet tissue paper, not stone. One unedited podcast episode exposed the system's flaws, prompting big sports outlets to secure player alliances or risk losing the story. The warning signs were in the numbers. Sophie's TikTok and Instagram followings had reached 1.6 million and 1.1 million, respectively, surpassing the combined reach of numerous WNBA insider reporters. She established her empire as ESPN ignored Caitlin Clark's record-breaking performances.
I just think, and you know way better than me, but like, it just feels like people are jealous of this new little wave of.
They are, but I just hate that because like this is what we've always wanted as a league. So like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah,
like you are literally making money from the viewership.
And why bully the person who is like not 100% responsible, but like has a huge role in growing your sport,
dude? And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, "She's not the face of the league."
Who would be?
What?
Here's where the game changes completely. Sophie did not get there by kissing the old guard's ring. She succeeded by speaking in a language that true fans understood. Unapologetic, competitive, and authentic. Sophie went direct to the people, providing genuineness that ESPN sound bites lacked, while other players worked hard to maintain a polished image in the media. The power switched at that exact instant. Sophie did not reveal her information to a reporter. She did not give the athlete a rapid gift. She did not even tease it on Twitter beforehand. In a conversation with her Show Me Something co-host, she revealed a surprising reality about the Bonner scandal. The truth was revealed without editing, spin, or corporate PR, making it accessible to everybody. Previously, if a player had inside information on locker room pandemonium or shady exits, it would be passed on to a beat writer for meticulous sourcing and presentation to the audience. Timing, framing, and impact are all controlled.
I went from I think like
followers, yeah,
350,000 and like maybe 200,000 on TikTok.
You had 200,000 on TikTok a month ago?
No. I
before the fight.
Before the fight, and then I had like 350 on 100,000 on Instagram over the night or over like a day and a half, over 1 million on both. Insane. This is coming from me though, dude. I got tired of seeing myself.
I get it.
And I love myself.
I get it.
I love myself. I was over it.
That's tough. And yes. Okay. I did state what I meant, unless you left something out. Though. Yeah. Sophie said, yes, no. She could tell it better than anyone else since she experienced it herself. She had the credibility, context, and platform to drop it without permission. The establishment media opposes Caitlin Clark and other Fever players having this kind of independence.
But she got to Indiana and she just like really wasn't happy. And like, I want people to be happy. So that's why I'm kind of like neutral on this one, which a lot of people are surprised about. She's towards the end of her career. So like, she deserves her flowers. She deserves to be happy. But I also think that if you're going to leave, like, you're going to have to expect getting booed. Like,
was there explanation when it happened? No. Not even privately? Yeah, I mean, okay. That's tough. And, yeah, okay. Well, I did say what? Unless you leave on some you type shit, and that's what that is, so.
Yeah.
Here's the strategic surprise that everyone else overlooked. Sophie's podcast involves more than just her and a microphone in a garage. The product is distributed by Colin Cowherd's sports media empire, The Volume. This marks the first time a WNBA player's content has crossed over into mainstream sports media. They did not hire her for charity or to promote women's sports. They signed her because they saw something ESPN couldn't. Player-driven storytelling consistently outperforms politically safe coverage. The deal alone sends a strong message. WNBA players are no longer limited to their gender. They can reach a larger and more engaged audience in mainstream sports who are more interested in hearing the truth than defending the old system. Sophie's success will encourage other participants to eliminate middlemen. This is causing concern among established media outlets. Reports indicate that major sports networks are rushing to sign WNBA players for their own shows. Sophie's shown that unedited athlete content is highly valued by fans, surpassing ESPN's corporate-approved narratives.
I'm still rooting for her. Like, I want her to end her career and be happy. But I also think that, like, it's okay to be professional about it. And, like, send a text to your teammates. Send a text and be like, hey, like, love you guys. Or you don't even have to say love you guys. Just like, hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. Da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to handle that, I think.
Sophie's actions violate the league's guideline of protecting veterans. The rule is to refrain from criticizing the inner circle, exposing politics, or challenging certain beliefs among devotees. Sophie termed the unspoken agreement broken. She shared the truth about Bonner's messy leaving, not because it was convenient or safe, but because it was authentic, and the willingness to prioritize truth over politics. New WNBA fans, particularly those of Caitlin Clark, have been clamoring for this information, but traditional media has been hesitant to cover it.
There's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league, or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb.
Sophie Cunningham defended Caitlin Clark in front of WNBA fans who had previously been ignored by the media. Legacy journalists cautioned about Clark's story, but she only need time narratives and false appeals for fairness. Sophie dismissed Clark's criticisms as dumb as hell. She meant every sentence. This is not just authentic, but also a deliberate masterstroke. Sophie focused on Clark's, the league's most devoted and rapidly increasing fan community, and spoke with them in their vernacular, rather than the media's outdated terminology. Her decision to expand rather than exclude paid off, as evidenced by high engagement figures.
One of the biggest stars the WNBA's ever
Who's that?
had. Her name rhymes with Schmaitlin.
Hurtland?
Yeah. What has that been like, seeing her not only kind of transform a league, but also just be like,
No,
is that fair to say? Okay.
not even just the league, but like
The
women's
sport.
basketball as a whole around the world. No, I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny because she's like 22, 23 years old and the whole world is watching her.
The traditional sports press relies on athletes to provide sanitized, sponsor-approved remarks since they serve as interpreters. Sophie's frank and unabashed communication eliminates the need for a mediator. Fans do not require a reporter to clarify her meaning. She communicates clearly and effectively. Traditional journalists are uneasy about this. If players like Sophie and Caitlin can reach millions, establish large followings, and control their narrative without the gatekeepers, what do the gatekeepers offer? Their entire business strategy relied on controlled access. They provided players with necessary ties and platforms. Sophie demonstrated it was never true.
Players in our league try to like toughen up Caitlin. We call her Cece. Cece. for even when I wasn't on her team. Like I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of like, no, we're gonna prove her, we're gonna show her what the W really is. You know what I mean? And like I get it to a certain extent, and like every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're gonna treat them. But there's just more.
Here's the strategic surprise that everyone else overlooked. Sophie's podcast involves more than just her and a microphone in a garage. The product is distributed by Colin Cowherd's sports media empire, The Volume. This marks the first time a WNBA player's content has crossed over into mainstream sports media. They did not hire her for charity or to promote women's sports. They signed her because they saw something ESPN couldn't. Player-driven storytelling consistently outperforms politically safe coverage. The deal alone sends a strong message. WNBA players are no longer limited to their gender. They can reach a larger and more engaged audience in mainstream sports who are more interested in hearing the truth than defending the old system. Sophie's success will encourage other participants to eliminate middlemen. This is causing concern among established media outlets. Reports indicate that major sports networks are rushing to sign WNBA players for their own shows. Sophie's shown that unedited athlete content is highly valued by fans, surpassing ESPN's corporate-approved narratives.